Hey everybody, I wanted to do a quick video about brushes. I get a lot of questions asked about what kind of brushes should you get, or what's the purpose of each brush. So I thought I'd do this tutorial for someone who is thinking about buying some brushes for applying their makeup, and what I myself would consider to be the main brushes that you need. There's tons of brushes out there. You definitely don't need all of them, but there are some main brushes that you do need. So I'm going to start off by just naming those brushes, and then I'm going to go into some detail about each brush. So starting with the face, the main brushes that you need for your face are 3 different brushes. You need a powder brush, a foundation brush, which could either be kind of the typical, the usual foundation brush, which is kind of a dome shape and it's flatter, or these new buffer brushes are out on the market recently in the last couple of years. These brushes both do the same thing, but in just 2 different ways, but they both serve the same purpose and they both work equally as good. So it's kind of just up to you to try them out and see which one you like better. So foundation, and then the last brush for the face is a blush brush. So these are the 3 face brushes that I would recommend: powder, foundation, and blush. Moving on to the eyes, there are 4 brushes that I can recommend for the eyes. A flat shader brush. We'll zoom in so you guys can see. So this brush is just flat and it's a little bit smaller. A round fluffy blending brush, a round fluffy brush that's just a little bit denser than the blending brush, and an angled brush. So these are the 4 brushes that I recommend for eyes. The last thing I recommend is a lip brush, which is for your lips, obviously. So you can see it like that. So those are the main brushes that I recommend. So there's 8 in total. So your face, eyes, and lips. If you have these, you will be totally set. You can do pretty much any makeup look with these brushes. So now I'm just going to go into some detail about each brush. The powder brush. The powder brush is usually it's probably one of the biggest brushes you'll have. It's really fluffy, it's bigger, it's meant just for applying powder all over your face in the T-zone. It's usually kind of a dome shape. They have ones that are flat on the sides now, so you can kind of press the powder in. You could have something like that or something like this. They both do the same thing, but you just want it to be a nice, soft, large, round shape. The blush brush is very similar to the powder brush, except that it's smaller. It's probably about half the size of powder brush, because they're just concentrating on a certain area when you're doing blush. Same thing, round, really soft hairs. It's very similar to the powder brush. Foundation brushes, like I said earlier, this is one of the most common foundation brushes. It allows you to go in underneath the eyes, to go in tighter areas, whereas these buffer brushes don't allow you to do that as much. And with the buffer brush, you just buff in the foundation, and with this one you're just kind of applying it all over, kind of using this type of crisscross motion. Some people prefer the buffer brush because they find that this one leaves streaks, but if you're using this brush properly, there shouldn't be any streaks. So again, it's preference. So I recommend trying each one out, or if you don't know which one to, if you can only afford getting one and you don't know which one to get, go for the cheaper one, because they both do the same thing. So eyes. So the first brush, a flat brush like this, the purpose of this brush is, let's see if we can get in. So this brush is flat. This is going to help you kind of press in color onto your eyelid. This is good for making color show up more. It's not meant to blend, it's meant to just place color where you want it. So this brush is key for that. Now the fluffier blending brush, the shape is the head of it is a little bit bigger than the other brush that I showed you. The main difference between these two is that this brush is a lot more dense. So what this one is going to do is that it's going to blend, but it's going to spread more than blend the color, the eyeshadow. Whereas this brush is going to really blend the eyeshadow out to make it look really soft, really smooth. Whereas this brush is just going to kind of spread the color out a little bit. They both serve two different purposes. This brush is, it's great for just at the end of a look, just kind of use it to blend everything in so there's no harsh lines. Whereas you wouldn't do that with this one. This one is for more, if you apply a color with the flat brush, for example, you could use this brush to kind of spread the color out to the area that you want. So two main brushes with two different purposes. And then the last eye brush is the angle brush. This brush is awesome for so many things. It's great for doing any type of color on your lower lash line. It's great for doing eyeliner on your top lash line. If you want to do that cat eye, it's perfect for that. You can just wing out the liner at the end. You could also use it to fill in your eyebrows. And yeah, this is a multifunctional brush. It's great for many purposes. Definitely recommend this one. So that's it for eyes. And then, like I said, the lip brush. It's a very basic brush. Usually lip brushes are synthetic fibers because you're putting them in goopy stuff, so you don't want them to be natural hairs. Goopy stuff like lipsticks and lip glosses, so you don't want it to be natural hairs because it'll get stuck in it easier, more likely. So the synthetic hairs are usually what lip brushes are made out of. And that's it for brushes. So if you're thinking about buying some brushes, whether it's to whether you want to invest in some really good brushes and pay a little bit of extra money, or just buy some brushes from a drugstore brand, those are the brushes that I would recommend. With them you can do absolutely any makeup look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful to you, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!